Welcome back, my name is LastKnownMeal and today we're going to talk about Gothic 1 Remake, reimagining, however you want to call it. Now you probably read the title of the video and said, wait, what? Gothic 1 demo is not good, it's not optimized, the controls are bad, the combat is janky. What is actually good here? Let me explain. Well, there is no denying that the current state of the game is terrible, but it's always like that when you have a proof of concept demo. This thing is not supposed to be optimized, and for some people it created a distorted image of what the final product is going to look like, especially because every game, and I mean every game, looks like this without optimization and polishing. Now, in my review I covered all the things that I didn't like about the Gothic remake and some of the things I liked. I also had comments from people saying, why am I too soft on them, this is not the Gothic we want. And in a sense, I do understand the fear fans have. I am also afraid that this game could fail and ultimately doom the franchise again. Also, another fear is that Piranha Bytes is not making this, but another studio, and that happened once in the past. Spellbound and Black Forest Games made Arcania, what was at first Gothic 4 Arcania, but they had to change the title, which was great. That game was so different from the things we had before and took a giant step back that ultimately people did not like it and franchise went to sleep. I also didn't like that game. Why? Because it took a step backwards. Now with this demo, I don't feel that way. There are certain things which I think are in place in this demo, and I'm going to elaborate what I think. First off, the gameplay. One thing I noticed as I was playing throughout the demo is it keeps some of the original ideas, like rewarding your exploration, giving you clues and maps to find different weapons, for example. Now, a simple exploration will take you from a sword that does 5 damage to a sword that deals 20 damage. And you only get that sword if you go out of your way and actually explore throughout the map. It also helps that you know the map, because some of the items that they placed are also have the same position as it is in the original Gothic 1. One thing I also noticed was a way to prepare food, but I had no recipes. So I went out of my way to explore the map and found some cool stuff. Then you use that to make yourself better food to replenish your health when you are fighting. Also, an ability to stomp a meat bug. That's new and I like it, because before you had to use a sword or your hands to kill a meat bug and it was so difficult at times, but just this ability to stomp on them is really cool. Besides that, the demo also has some hidden amulets and items you can find if you explore. I do want more stuff when the final game comes out. So rewarding players for exploration is what made original Gothic so immersive. And not just exploration, but for example, you were able to learn to skin animals and take other trophies that you later sell for someone in a camp so you can get yourself better gear. I kinda want this trading system expanded a bit here to get more incentive to hunt and explore, because I think those gameplay elements would really make this game interesting, especially how much emphasis is put on hunting in Gothic 2 and Gothic 3. Next thing, the combat. Now, the biggest flaw with this game is how you portray combat. Piranha Bytes had a lot of progress when it comes to that in certain areas. I think Risen 1 had the best combat in a sense. Even their latest game, Elix, the combat was, well, strange, I'll give them that. It took a while for you to get used to it. Meanwhile, in Gothic 1, it was based around using different arrow keys to strike from different sides. So how do you take this and combine it with For Honor way of fighting? And I do understand why they approached it, this way. It makes perfect sense to look at the combat from Gothic 1 and see it's not like in The Witcher or games similar to that like Risen and Elix. It's more similar to the fighting we have in For Honor. But simply, copying the system is not going to solve that problem. I believe that the system they have is not responsive as of yet, and without any proper combos and, without optimization, we can't know if the final system is going to work, if this is going to work, because I saw many opportunities to expand on this combat, so it's not just a copy and paste, because right now it seems like a copy and paste of For Honor. There is nothing in Gothic that I haven't seen already polished in For Honor. It was basically the same. That's my biggest issue here. Don't make it the same. Make it different. Make it stand out, but still to capture the fighting from Gothic 1. So it's not the Witcher sense of fighting. It doesn't go that way. Your character doesn't work that way. You come into a colony, you don't know how to hold a sword. So you can't expect to fight like Geralt of Rivia. So in some sense, I do wanna see this way of fighting, but not just a copy and paste, because fighting multiple enemies right now is impossible. Even fighting one enemy is impossible, because you don't know where to click, when to click, because sometimes you click but the button is not recognized and it's a huge problem. And without proper optimization, you can't know if this system is going to work. That's my biggest issue here. They also give a bigger emphasis on the monsters. Now even fighting a scavenger is like you're fighting a mini-boss, especially with this camera angle and placement. It's terrible. This camera placement needs to go. I had multiple times when I was fighting various monsters that somehow my character doesn't want to run, doesn't want to walk, doesn't want to attack, and I just keep bumping into things because I don't know what's behind me. And as soon as you sheath that sword and you have a wolf in front of you, he's going to instantly attack you. And it seems to me that wolves only attack in a specific way. So you have to parry and then attack, parry and then attack. It needs more variation, because it becomes boring. That's my thing here. I don't want this fight to become boring. I want this fighting system to only expand as you learn more, to make it interesting, to make you think, to make you do combos against different enemies. If you're aiming for that, then stick to that. So would I ditch this system? Look, it's maybe not too late to ditch the system, it's still a concept. But it doesn't matter which fighting you have, For Honor fighting or different kind of fighting. You still have to, have a chance to parry enemies, so you can counter enemies and have more freedom in the way you move and how you switch enemies. Also, the speed of attacks sometimes is really stupid and slow and needs to be worked on. Now, the original game didn't have that parrying and, countering someone, it didn't have those elements, but there is no reason not to include that. That's why I said, if something works, just either keep it as it is or update the system so it works in today's modern age. And revising this combat system is crucial for how people will portray the game, because most of the stuff you do is going to be around fighting stuff, and you want that experience to be satisfying. Now look, I finished the demo 4 to 5 times now, since I wanted to see how they handle the quest system and the map itself. I am one of those people that will explore every inch, no matter if that is a demo. That's how much I love this game. Keep in mind, the map is really well done, like design-wise. They did a nice job of just making everything look bigger and with more detail. On that end, they know what they're doing. On the quest side, my number one complaint is about writing and delivery of lines. Again, these are not the final voice recordings, this is just for the demo. They will be redone if the game goes into full production, so all of these dialogue lines will be re-recorded, which is good, because you can see that it wasn't optimized, it wasn't polished, it was just, placed there and just give the demo and let's see what people want and don't want from this game. That's why you have the survey in the demo itself, and I'm glad that they decided to give us a demo rather than just a trailer, because they gave you a demo, they trust you, and if you say, okay, this is bad, this is bad, this is good, keep this but change this, and if you say that to them, it can only benefit the final product. I do wish they included the original voice actors. Maybe they will in the final one. Maybe they didn't want to invest in that yet, because obviously those people are more expensive. For example, the person who voiced Diego also voiced Vesemir in The Witcher, so maybe he is expensive for a demo, so now they're waiting to see if they're going to go into full production. And I believe that getting the same voice actors, I mean, you don't have to get all of them, but if you could get a couple of them, is going to give us that sense of nostalgia that we want, and it's going to glue people to this game. It's very simple. Don't try to avoid those people, because there is a certain way they portray those characters that made us fall in love with those characters. Again, if something works, try and keep it. Now, the main protagonist, for example, is not good. He is whiny as a character and not a charismatic badass we had, especially because how cynical and sarcastic the original character was. But can I get adjusted to a new voice actor? Yes, I mean, why not? But his delivery of lines and his character, the tone is not right. It's so not there. Now let's go back to the quests. There is one quest I want to talk about, and it's with Kaidan and the two other guards from the old camp. Now, Gothic 1 always had that your decisions have consequences, and they did include that. For example, the quest you are on is to go and kill two other guards that work together with Kaidan. He tells you that you should retrieve an amulet that was stolen from him. When you arrive, the two guards are fighting each other. When they finish, you fight the other one who survives, and in the end, you can decide if you want to kill him or not. If you do decide to spare him, he tells you that Kaidan wants everything for himself, and that's why he sent you to kill them. And if you bring him this box, he will believe that you actually killed him so he can escape. Now, if you want to keep the box, you can tell Kaidan, listen, he's dead, and there is no proof of that. I'm just telling you, he's dead. But remember what I said. After you go back to the other guard, after some time, you can see Kaidan killing him and telling you, I will not forget this. So that makes you think, how do I pull this one off? Because if Kaidan finds out, your admission to the old camp is going to be harder, because you don't have Kaidan on your side to vouch for you. Meanwhile, if you save the other guard, he is going to probably go to the new camp, and you will have a friend there. That is Gothic 101. So, in that sense, they succeeded. And this entire story is inspired by an old tale of three men who discover a pot of gold in the forest. They decide to split the gold in three ways, but their greed ultimately gets the most of them, and they all die trying to kill each other so they can have everything for themselves and split nothing. The greed is this ultimate failure. That's the message here. Now, THQ Barcelona also expanded on the exchange zone and gave you a new place before you start making your way into the valley itself. I think it's okay, but it needs to change in terms of pacing and how you handle certain cutscenes and some dialogue lines. Even the Nameless, you know, how he speaks is just repeating of what he said a moment ago. That was the entire intro of this game. Him going, oh, where am I? Oh, what do I do now? Oh, I have to do this. And it's so tiring at times. And would I actually keep this zone or just go back to the classic intro of Gothic 1 where you have Bullet, you know, hitting you in the face and you waking up, I mean Diego waking you up. In a sense, I really like that intro, and I don't mind if they include this, but it needs to change. It needs to be more interesting, cut something, change the direction of the intro, how it goes, you know, but still keep that original, you know. Once you go through this new area they added, then you make your way down to the valley itself, and it makes sense of the couple of things, you know, they did. Like, for example, they closed the gate, so you have to put out the fire so that they know that it's safe up there. From that perspective, it's logical what they included. Also, this checkpoint system they have, remove it. So I killed a snapper, and as I did in the original, I saved and went on to kill a wolf. Now the wolf defeated me, killed me, and I reloaded my save and thought, hey, I can just continue. Nope, it has a checkpoint. Your save didn't matter, at least for me. Maybe it's broken, I don't know. For me, it doesn't work. I save, I go to a different region, I save, it takes me back. Not in a game like this. Please do not include checkpoints in a game like Gothic, because in Gothic you can go and explore something else, completely forgetting about the quests you're doing. So if I go and explore half of the map and I get killed and now I have to go back to this checkpoint, it's a giant no. It changes how you play Gothic, it changes everything. Please remove this checkpoint system. It does not work. Or at least keep the checkpoint system, but give me the manual save. I want that manual save. Please give me the manual save. And as I said in my review, the look of the game has to be toned down a bit. Right now it's too shiny and doesn't really have style. You know, it looks a bit generic. You know, add a little bit of that Gothic style to it, because you recognize the style of Gothic when you see it. You know, make it a bit more depressing. I don't know, you are in a prison after all. And there is one more thing that a subscriber said to me, and it's the presence of the barrier. Right now, if you look at the sky, it looks strange, almost if you have some plastic over the sky. The original had the constant presence of the barrier as well as thunder it generated. That gave you a sense of, hey, I am in a prison, this is a confined space. It changes your immersion, it makes it real and exciting. That's why I said that ultimately the core idea they have for this Gothic is good, like exploration, how you decide what happens, what things you find on the map, but everything else around it needs a lot of work. And if they do pull it off, which I hope they will, that is why I want to share this positivity around this project. Let them try. At the end, we will always have the original things, you know, to play, but to actually have something new which pays homage to the Gothic we love to this day, you could see a lot of potential in this franchise, you know, returning and, you know, maybe giving us the remake of Gothic 1, and then if that succeeds, a remake of Gothic 2. Who knows? And look, that's everything we have for today. You tell me now. Do you like this? Do you think it has a future? And as always, smash that like and subscribe button for more Gothic content, and join our amazing community on Twitter and Discord. This is LKM signing out, and stay classy everyone. Bye bye.